Hi, everyone, and welcome to another podcast with me, Diane Parker, on Busting Through Life Challenges. This period of recordings that I've been doing, I've been selecting some coaches, people that go out there into this world and help others create a life that they desire. But not just that, it's about digging deep into what old beliefs you might be carrying, the things that you think you should be doing because somebody else has told you should, and finding that safe space with someone that you can start to create the life that you want and live the life that you want. Even if that is that you are already married to somebody that's saying that you should be a certain way, or with you in life, you know the best place for you to explore you is in an environment that you can openly talk about whatever is going on in your heart, what you're struggling with, where you would like to see yourself. Now, people understand that coaches in regard to football games will help increase the play and get the person to and the team to work together for a goal. And you're also taught how to protect yourself and defend your goal. And you understand that when it comes to a football game. And obviously every other sport that you understand that term coach. But what people like myself do is we bring those kind of dynamics to you and your life. So we create that playing field of a safe space for looking to see where you are aiming for and what are you defending? What are you trying to, is there a conflict going on in your life? You're trying to be one thing for one person, one thing for another, but ignoring yourself completely. We look at all of those aspects, and all the coaches that I've brought together are specializing in different aspects of things that we have going on in life, whether that's money. I'm going to do some more recordings. I've done one already with my friend Sebastian from the Money Freedom Mindset program. So if you've got issues around money, you can dig deep with him and find out what's going on for you. I've just done an interview with Dan Farron, and I have to tell you, this man has just blossomed and grown by stepping into his own truth. Instead of deciding what he should be in life and how he should turn up, he's put all those shoulds away, and he's creating the life of his dreams, and he's helping a lot of men do it in the process. What we tend to do is we start to say what we should do, what we ought to do, what we would do if, and of course, could we? I could do that. So if we put them in an acronym that you can remember of cows: could, ought, would, and should. One thing a coach shared with me years ago when she shared that with me was, she said, Diane, what comes out of a cow? So I went, well, cheese, milk, and, eventually beef. She went, no, she said, what else comes out of a cow? So I sat and thought about it, and I went, who? She went, doo-doo. So she said, so would you invite a cow into your home? And I said, no. So she said, so why do you allow those words to come into your life and be a part of them? And that got me thinking. And it's true, isn't it? If you see your body and your mind as your home, which it is, are you letting cows come in and shit there? It's funny, isn't it? But you think about it. How many times have you said, oh, well, I could do that, but you don't? Oh, I ought to go, but you don't? I would do that if, but you don't? And I should do that really, but you don't. And so that's where a coach comes in, because those are things that maybe deep down you actually do want to do, but you just don't know how to get started. And in the next couple of podcasts that I'm doing, I'm going to be talking to business coaches. I'm going to be talking to people that work in HR and media and have had high-flying jobs in that environment, who are now turning to coaching as their way forward, because they understand the power of coaching. And the reason why we understand it is because we've done it. We've put ourselves in those positions, those like, I've got stuff going on, it's not settling with me, and I need to work through it. And we know it's not a case of we need to go and speak to a counsellor so much as actually we need some guidance, some responsibility, accountability in our lives to help us make these goals and really sort of dig deep into where's the resistance in our lives for us to stop doing that and start creating the life of our dreams and what we want. Now, I call it with my clients a leaky bucket, you know, especially when people just keep giving and giving and giving to others. And yes, I was one of those people until you stop and you say, this is my leaky bucket. And you're never given to yourself. It's just pouring out through all these different holes, whether that's given to your children, given to your animals, given to your parents, given to clients, given to, and where are you in the mix? So I teach people how to plug those holes so their bucket becomes full. And just like that phrase that we all know, it will flow over from the top. When we fill up ourselves, fill the vessel and allow it to flow from the top, you're going to be in a better place yourself, feeling emotionally and growth for yourself, for that allowing to happen, as you can then be in a better place to help others. Now, I've been on coaching now since 2004, and I know that I've had friends and support people around me all of that time before I even started doing the coaching. Now, the trouble with friends is they will tend to tell you what they would do, and some of that you might agree with, some of it might resonate with you, but then they will stop to a certain point and not push you to where you actually feel uncomfortable about going, or they'll say something that just doesn't gel with you, but they're your friends, so you think, well, maybe they're right. And it's just about stripping all of that sort of thing back to finding out who you are as a person and how you want to show up in this world, be authentic and live the best life that you possibly can for you. Nobody else's expectations, but for you. And if you've got things that you want to do in this life and you haven't quite got around to doing them yet, wake up. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is life. Life is a constant change, because that's another thing. People don't like change. Only thing in life that's consistent is change. And are you going to get in your boat and float down the river? Or are you going to continually paddle upstream, as the wonderful Abraham Hicks talks about? It seems very hard. We believe that everything we want is upstream. So we put our paddles in and we get our targets and we try and work our way towards them. And actually then in doing that, it can feel uncomfortable. There can be resistance. And people like me will help you stop paddling, drop those oars in and allow that boat to turn. If you start to aim to what you want in life, that flow, that energy will come to you quicker. And that's one of the best things that we see as coaches, when we can see clients stop the struggle, stop the language that they're telling themselves, what they've trained themselves to believe is true, and to actually peel that all back and get to who they are and what they want in life, and to see them blossom. It's just mind-blowing. And when things happen to us in life, there's a good little phrase that I'd like to share with you. What happens if what's happened for you and not to you? What if all the things that have gone wrong in your life have actually been a hidden gift and you can't see them at the time? But with some work with somebody like myself, you get to see that gift. And we have saboteurs. We have like what my friend Sebastian talks about it as a boardroom in your head, and all these different saboteurs that we have. The hyperachiever, the victim, the judge, all of these things are going on in our heads, but they're not you. And what if you stop listening to some of the crap they come out with and start to discover what is going to work for you? Oh yeah, they show up. The hyperactive one shows up with me sometimes. Oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And I just tell it now, get back in the boardroom. And I've started to do what feels right for me, what feels good. And the amount of people that live their lives in their heads instead of their hearts, it's what people do. We're losing connection with ourselves and pulling ourselves back into how we feel about what we're doing. That will light your life up no end. What do you want in life? What does it look like? And if you start worrying about, well, how am I going to get that? We work on that as well. So that's kind of like what we do as coaches, but a lot more. We do deal with the things that people don't really always want to talk about openly, like, childhood traumas and stuff like that. But, that's a conversation perhaps for another day, because today I want to motivate you into thinking about, what do you want in your life and what do you need to do to make that happen? Do you need to get yourself a coach? Do you need to just sit down for 5 minutes, tune into how you're feeling about things and ask yourself, well, what do I want in my life? And then somebody like myself, for all the different issues that you might have going on, there's somebody out there that's going to be able to help you with just that. Now, hopefully in a month's time, that's the aim for me, there is going to be a company set up that I'm setting up with some friends. And it's called Just Ask a Coach. And that is what it's about. It's because you've got an issue with your children. You'll find a coach for the children. You'll find a coach for yourself on how to be there for the children. Like my guest the other week, Eddie Smits, talks about how his journey came from teaching to clowning to helping children in hospital, but also their parents in help guiding them. And he's going ahead now, and that's the aspect that he helps children and parents have a better communication with each other. And there is no clowning around, is there? No, that would be fun. So, there's different people coming through here. Like Beth, she works really hard in HR and companies and things like that. I'm going to have a more in-depth talk with her about all of that. I've got lots of people that do holistic stuff. So if you need some spiritual guidance, or you need some help with autistic parenting, all of these different aspects of life that we have, I hope you can get a feel for how that would be now. They're going to come together and help you get what you need to make this the best life that you can have. We're all constantly moving. We're all constantly changing. We're going to have people that can help you with mediation. If you are struggling with issues in your life and you do need somebody else to give you that outside guidance, then I've got some great people on board to help with that as well. So what is it that's stopping you now from creating the life that you want? What pain are you in that you need to move away from, to stop living with? Do you think it's going to be difficult to heal that pain of loss? If you do, then you definitely need to give me a call, because we can work through all of that for you. So create that space that you can go, okay, I'm now not living with that pain. What is there for me? The pain changes. The person, in my case, that I have lost lives with me deep in my heart. I can hear his voice when I'm talking about our boys or something I have to discuss. in that realm. It's just what I choose to believe. But the pain that I was in when he first passed was incredible. I had never felt pain like it. And you can hear more about that if you look back on my podcasts. And through allowing myself to go through the process, that is what I do call a process, is that program I put people through. Though you all know, if you've listened to me before, that grief is not a process, it's an emotion. I had a moment just a couple of weeks ago when we did a Pocky ride out. I had a little sob before we all set off on the ride, because Andrew loves cycling. And these people have come together to remember him and the antics that he got up to. So I can help people get from that stuck, from that pain that you're in, whether that was sort of a bereavement or whether it was any of other life challenges, to get you into a space where you can start to think about yourself. And it's not selfish to do that and create the life that you want. How much happier are you going to be at home with all the people around you if you are in a better place yourself? It's like that pebble in the pond, and it will just ripple out amongst everybody who's around you. And the main thing is too, you also learn skills and techniques with all of the coaches that you work with. We give you tools that you can then apply to your life. So when the shit hits the fan, because life's like that, you may find yourself reacting in the short term, but it doesn't take you long to pull yourself back and start responding to what's happening. And with that comes your power. Your power to create the life that you want to live. And how awesome is that? Of course, there's no more excuses, is there? None of them. You have to take responsibility for yourself. You have to want to make some changes. You have to decide that you don't like where you're living inside of yourself right now, that there is a better life ahead for you, and you have to want it. There's no point in coming to talk to somebody like myself if that is not what you want. If you know things are working in your life, then you're not going to worry about things, are you? Because you're already in a better place. But if you've got things that you know just aren't working out, or you've got issues that you just need to talk somebody through these issues, then that's what coaching is about. It's not about telling you what to do. We kind of guide you, yes, but we don't tell you. We'll give you the options. We'll talk through all the things that you come up with, because it's empowering you as the person to step into whatever area of your life you're struggling with right now. It's not about telling you what to do. It's not about prescribing you pills to try and make you feel better. This is us standing with you while you take responsibility for you. The question is, are you ready? Are you willing? Are you open? Are you ready to get some movement into your life and take charge of you? If you are, I am just going to be delighted if we can reach out together and have a chat. Diane@lifeafterlossiom.com. Otherwise, you can pick one of the coaches below. You take good care now. Bye.